last night we finished how many groups from the members of Enlightenment? 1, 2, 3 groups. So today we come to the 4th one, which is what? Indriya. Please say the Pali word. Indriya, faculties. Now, the literal meaning of the word Indriya is something which has authority, or something which governs some other thing. These are called Indriyas. These 5 factors are called Indriyas because they have authority over their respective functions, or we may just call them their bosses in their respective functions. So they are like ministers in the government, a minister of home affairs, minister of foreign affairs, minister of commerce, and something like that. So in their respective ministries, the minister is the boss, he is the chief, right? In the same way, these 5 factors are the chief, or they are bosses in their own respective functions. I think many of you are familiar with these 5 faculties, or Indriyas. What are the 5? Confidence, effort, mindfulness, concentration, panya, understanding. Very good. So these 5 are called Indriyas, or faculties here. But generally speaking, there are altogether 22 Indriyas. So among them, these 5 are those that are conducive to enlightenment and also that arise simultaneously with enlightenment. Not only are you familiar with these 5 faculties theoretically, you are actually experiencing these 5 faculties during the practice of meditation. The first of them is faith or confidence. So when we say faith, we do not mean just mere faith or blind faith. When we say faith in Buddhism, we mean faith assisted by understanding. So it is better translated as confidence rather than faith in order to avoid misunderstanding. So confidence is an important factor, or faith is an important factor in the practice of meditation. I think in any undertaking, in any work, faith or confidence is very important. If you have no confidence, say, in the work you are doing, or no confidence in your ability, then you will not get things done. You will not be successful. So confidence is actually important in any undertaking. In this practice of meditation too, you need to have confidence. Confidence in the Buddha, that Buddha was a real historical person, say, who lived more than 2,500 years ago, and who by his own effort discovered the 4 noble truths, discovered this practice of vipassana meditation, and discovered the 4 noble truths, and became the Buddha. And also, if you do not have confidence in his teachings, that means if you do not have confidence in the practice of meditation, and with that skepticism, if you practice meditation, then you will not be successful. So confidence is one of the important factors working in our minds when we practice meditation. The next factor, what is the next factor? Effort. Now we have talked about effort last night. So we need effort. Here effort means mental effort. Effort is one of the cetasikas. So we need mental effort, which is neither too much nor too little, but very strong and unrelenting effort, say, to practice meditation. If we do not have effort, if we are indolent, then we cannot even practice meditation, say, let alone get the results of meditation. And the third one, what is the third one? Mindfulness. I don't need to say anything about mindfulness. You all know what mindfulness is. You are actually practicing mindfulness meditation for even many years, so I don't need to say more about mindfulness. But mindfulness is not forgetting, and not forgetting means not forgetting to make notes or to be aware of the object at the present moment. And this mindfulness should be deep going, not superficial mindfulness. If it is superficial, it is not mindfulness at all, because mindfulness is defined as something which does not float on the surface. So it must go deep into the object. Sometimes we have what we call shallow mindfulness. We are not really mindful of the object, although we try. And that is not real mindfulness. So real mindfulness is that which goes direct to the object, and then, as it were, sunk into the object. So that is what we call mindfulness. What is the next? Concentration. Now, what is concentration? I'll be asking you questions today. What is concentration? It is one-pointedness of mind. That means mind being able to be on one object only. And concentration is also one of the mental factors, one of the cetasikas. Then this mental factor keeps the consciousness and other mental factors closely together and then on the object. So it does not allow these mental factors to be scattered, and it does not allow the mind to go to other objects. And that is the function of concentration, this mental factor. Generally, we explain that concentration is the ability of mind to be on one object, say for a long time or for some period of time. And it is true with regard to concentration during the meditation, during either samatha meditation or vipassana meditation. But concentration at the moment of enlightenment, at the moment of path consciousness, is different, because it takes the object only once, only one moment. But it is so strong, it is so powerful that with the help of this, the mind can eradicate mental defilements. So here, the concentration is just the ability of mind to be on this object and to keep the mental factors together, not the ability to be on this object for a long time. Just only one moment, maybe a millionth of a second, but it is so powerful that it accomplishes the eradication of mental defilements. Concentration is compared to a flame in a place where there is no wind. So when you look at a flame of a candle, say, it looks steady. But when you look at the flame is not the same at different moments, right? Although it seems to us that the same flame, actually at every moment the flame is not the same. But the continuity of the flame makes us think that this flame is one and the same, say, going on. So in the same way, when we say concentration is the ability of mind to be on the object for a long time, actually different concentration arises at every moment, the same type of concentration at every moment, and also the object lasts only for how many moments? The material object lasts for how many moments? 17 moments. So after 17 moments there is another similar object, and then another similar object. So concentration arises and takes that object, and so on. So it is like a flame. It is not one and the same concentration staying on the object for a long time. Okay, now the fifth one. What is the fifth factor? Understanding. In Pali, what? Panya. There are synonyms for panya even in Pali. Panya, jnana. Jnana is also a synonym for panya. And then amoha, not moha. So that is also a synonym for panya. So here panya, understanding, means understanding things as they really are, and also understanding the Four Noble Truths. Not just understanding anything, but understanding, seeing the true nature of things. That is what we call panya in Buddhism. This panya arises when there is concentration. So without concentration, panya cannot arise. That is why when we practice meditation, we have to develop concentration. So we don't have to worry about panya. So when we have enough concentration, then panya will come by itself. And here panya means seeing the object, the particular object, as it really is, seeing its nature, seeing that this object, whether material or immaterial, this object arises and disappears. So when you study something, or when you look at something for a period of time, then you know more about that thing. In the same way, when your mind is on the object for a certain period of time, then it knows more about this object. It knows the real content, this object. It knows the characteristic of the object, and also its impermanence, its arising and disappearing. All these are revealed to him once a person gets real good concentration. When the Buddha talked about or described a monk practicing Satipatthana meditation, he said that monk has effort, that monk has clear comprehension, and that monk has mindfulness. So Buddha mentioned these three factors to describe a monk who is meditating. So a monk who is meditating, practicing the four foundations of mindfulness, makes effort, and he has clear comprehension. Clear comprehension means the correct understanding of the object, and he is mindful. So these three factors Buddha mentioned. And in the commentaries it is said that when the mindfulness and understanding are mentioned, then concentration is virtually mentioned, because the second stage is concentration. First there is mindfulness, and then concentration, and then understanding. So without concentration there can be no understanding. And so the commentary said that although Buddha mentioned only three factors in that description, we must understand that there are four factors involved in it. Now these four factors are just the later four faculties or indriyas, right? effort, mindfulness, concentration, and understanding. So when Buddha described a monk practicing meditation, he described with these 4 faculties. So that means when a monk or a person is meditating and his meditation is good, then these 4 factors are working at that moment, working together. The only one Buddha did not mention in the sutta is what? Faith or confidence, because it is taken to have accomplished, say, before the practice of meditation, because if you have no confidence, you will not practice. So although confidence is not mentioned there, we must take that confidence is also there working. But the more important factors are these 4, and we have to make sure that these 4 work properly. That means do their function well, and also they must work evenly. One not doing more than one should do than the other. Now you can see that when you practice meditation, these 4 factors, or sometimes maybe 3 factors, are working in your mind. Now, if you do not make effort, you cannot practice meditation. So at every moment you are mindful, there is surely effort. So effort is there, and then you are mindful of, say, the main object or the other secondary objects, and so there is mindfulness. And with mindfulness, with strong, intense mindfulness, there is concentration also. So when there is concentration, then understanding also arises. So at some moments, understanding may not arise. Sometimes you do not see the object clearly, or you do not see its arising and its disappearing. So in that case, Panya may not be present. But generally speaking, these 4 are present, or these 4 must be present at every moment of good meditation. Now it is said in the commentaries that when you practice meditation, you need to keep these faculties in proper balance. You should not let one work more than the others. So if one works more than the others, or maybe less than the others, then this whole mechanism of meditation will thrown out of balance, and you will lose concentration altogether. So it is important that these 5 faculties be kept in proper balance. Especially, balance should be kept between faith and understanding, and also between effort and concentration. So these 2 pairs, faith and understanding, and then the other pair, effort and concentration. So first, faith and understanding should be kept in balance. That means one must not exceed the other. And this balance of faith and understanding should be kept even in your daily activities. If you have too much faith and if you lack understanding, then you will believe in everything, and you will be an easy prey to, say, false teachers. So if you have too much faith, then you cannot gain understanding, or you cannot gain penetration into the nature of things. And if you have too much understanding, too much panya, what can happen? If you know too much, if you are too wise, what can happen? Huh?
Arrogance.
So right.
You can become what?
Arrogant.
Arrogant, pride, not quite. One more thing.
Right.
That is stuck you.
You tend to become
Serving.
deceiving. You tend to become what goes fraudulent. Now, if you know too much, you can twist things, and so tend to become deceiving people. Now, there is an example given in our books. Dana, giving. Dana is defined as the cetana, mental volition. So, the exact definition, according to that definition, dana means the mental volition in your mind. And that mental volition is defined as something through which a person gives, or by which with the help of which a person gives. So it comes to say dana means cetana. Then a person who is too wise will say, you just need to have a cetana in your mind. You don't have to give anything away. And you have dana. Because dana is defined as cetana. And cetana is a mental thing you can have in your mind. So just have a cetana in your mind. You don't have to give up anything. And you will have dana. So if you are too wise, say you may become such a person. And so you will mislead other people and also mislead yourself. So too much of understanding is, let's say, as dangerous as too little understanding. And if you know too much and think yourself to be very learned, very intelligent, then you tend to be too critical. You want to examine this and that, and you spend time or you waste time just examining, just saying, oh, this is say this is not logical, or this is not according to what Buddha taught, or something like that. And so you do not come to practicing the teachings of the Buddha. You will end with just the examining or just criticizing this and that. Something like, say, there are many people who say, oh, chanting is nothing, because just by chanting you cannot get any results, and chanting may not have been allowed by the Buddha or something like that, and they criticize. And so they do not do chanting themselves, and since they have no confidence in chanting, they do not listen to chanting. And so they do not get kusala. So when you listen to chanting, you at least get kusala from listening to it, because chanting is teachings of the Buddha. And when you listen to the teachings of the Buddha, so you get peacefulness of mind, and so you get kusala. So if you are too critical and you do not listen to chanting because they may not have been allowed by the Buddha, then you do not get that kusala. And there are also some people who say, we have the water pouring ceremony, right? You don't have, we have. So some people say, oh, you don't need to do this water pouring ceremony. If you have given something, then you have done the dana, so you don't need to do it. Now, when you do the water pouring ceremony, you share merits with all beings, and so your merit increases. So if you don't do that ceremony, then you lose that. You lose that additional merit to be gained from sharing merits. So there are many things that people criticize and don't do it, and so they fail to get what they should get from such acts. So too much of understanding is actually detrimental to many people. Now there was a man in Burma. He was first a monk, and then he became a layman. Now when he was a monk, he went to India, and he associated with communist people. And so he read communist books, and he liked communism very much. And so when he came back to Burma, he wrote many articles criticizing Buddha's teachings. And he even wrote that it is better to feed a dog than to offer food to the Buddha. Because when you offer food to the Buddha, nobody eats. And the Buddha said you doesn't eat. So it is better to give it to a dog than to offer to the Buddha. And many things he wrote. And then later on he disrobed and he became a layman. And then he met a gentleman who was very wise. And after he talked with that man, he was reconverted to Buddha's teachings. So after his reconversion, he made it a public declaration. So many people were invited to the declaration. And at that meeting, he said, I was too wise, and I was very proud of myself, and I thought that I had enough power or ability to criticize everything, including Buddha's teachings. And so I had too much understanding, but I lacked faith, I lacked confidence in the teachings of the Buddha. So he said his faith and his understanding were not balanced. So he has too much understanding, too much intelligence, but he lacked faith. So that is why he came to believe in communism and wrote these articles. So now in the commentary, it is said that when we practice samatha meditation, we need a lot of confidence. Or in other words, if there is much confidence, it is no harm when we practice samatha meditation. And the sub-commentary said that we need confidence because sometimes we may think that how can I get concentration just by looking at this disc, something like that. If we have no personal experience, we may not have faith, or we may not believe that concentration is possible just by looking at a disc or just by thinking of the attributes of the Buddha and so on. So when we practice samatha meditation, we need a lot of saddha, faith or confidence. And when we practice vipassana meditation, what we need? A lot of panya. So even if there is a lot of panya, it is no harm, because with this panya we will penetrate into the nature of things, that is impermanence, suffering and soulless nature of things. So when we practice vipassana meditation, actually we need a lot of panya, a lot of understanding, a lot of wisdom, a lot of penetrating into the nature of things. Now the other balance is of effort and concentration. So it is very important when we practice meditation to keep these two in balance. If we make too much effort, more effort than is necessary, then we will become agitated and we will lose concentration. Sometimes, very often, it happens to meditators. So they are meditating and then say they have good concentration. Then a kind of lobha comes. They want to make it better. And so they make more effort. And when they make more effort, the balance is broken and they become agitated and they lose concentration. And if there is too much concentration, sometimes our concentration is strong and good, and when concentration is good, we lack effort because concentration is so good that we slacken. And so the level of effort goes down and concentration gains the upper hand, And so when there is too much concentration and then not enough effort, say, to keep in balance, then we tend to become sleepy, or we tend to become lazy. And so in that case too, we will lose concentration. So effort and concentration should be balanced. And if there is too much concentration and not enough effort, then we must step up our effort, say, to raise the level of effort. And if there is too much effort, then we have to take it easy, slow down. During the time of the Buddha, there was a monk who was very energetic. So he came from a very rich family, and it is said that his body was very delicate. He even have hairs on his palm and on the soles of his feet. So when he became a monk, he said to himself, I came from a delicate family, so I must make much effort, say, to practice meditation. So he practiced meditation, walking up and down. But his soles were very, very soft, and so when he walked up and down, there were blisters, and it is said that the place was covered with blood. But even though he tried very much, he could not get any concentration. So after practicing for maybe hours, he was discouraged, so frustrated, and so he thought of going back to lay life. He thought of disrobing. So I have practiced for a long time, and I couldn't get any result or any even concentration, and so maybe I am not equal to this practice, so I must go back to lay life. So Buddha knew his thoughts, and so Buddha went to him and asked him, what are you doing? He said, I am meditating, I'm practicing. And did you have these thoughts? Buddha said. He said, yes. So Buddha asked him, now, his name was Sona. Sona, you are a musician when you are a layman. You are a player of harp. So if the strings of the harp were too tight, will good sound come out of the harp? He said, no. Then if the strings are too loose, will good sound come out of the harp? He said, no. So in the same way, your practice must be neither too tight nor too loose. So take the middle path. So he followed Buddha's advice, and he was able to achieve enlightenment. So too much effort is as bad as too little effort. So our effort, the effort we make, must be just enough and not too much. It must be balanced with concentration. So when you practice meditation, you can know when you have too much effort or too much concentration. So if you become agitated, and if you cannot concentrate on the object, then you may guess that you have made too much effort. Sometimes you seem to go to fall asleep, although you are not sleepy, and you seem to lose interest in making effort. So at the time you must know that you have too much concentration and you lack efforts. So in that case, you should step up your effort by paying closer attention to the object, or by being mindful of many things in succession. This way you give your mind more work to do, and so the energy level rises. So when you feel sleepy, seem like sleepy, although you are not tired and you are not really sleepy, then you might have too much concentration and not enough effort. So you step up your effort. So this way you have to go delicately in this practice of meditation. Okay, 1 hour is gone. Only with Indriya. So the next group is what? Bala. Bala means strength or power. If you understand Indriya, you understand Bala, because it is just another name for Indriyas. So there are 5, just as there are 5 Indriyas, there are 5 Balas, and they are the same: confidence, effort, concentration, mindfulness, concentration, understanding. So I don't have to talk in detail on Bala. So if you understand Indriya, you understand Bala. The next group is Bodhanga. So as I said before, this word is a compound of Bodhi and Anga. So Anga means a factor or constituent, and Bodhi means enlightenment or an enlightened person. So Bodhanga is more or less the same as Bodhi-pakkhiya. But here there are said to be how many Bodhangas? How many factors of enlightenment? 7 factors of enlightenment. Now these 7 factors of enlightenment are also working when you are meditating, and also they are present at the moment of enlightenment. Now what are these seven factors of enlightenment? 1. What?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Yeah. 2.
Investigation.
Investigation of Dhammas. 3.
Effort.
Rapture.
Rapture. First what?
Effort.
Effort. Right. And then rapture or piti. And then tranquility. Passaddhi. And then concentration, samadhi, and then upekkha, equanimity. Now please say them again. Mindfulness, investigation of Dhamma, effort, piti, rapture, piti, tranquility, concentration, equanimity. So these 7 are called factors of enlightenment. The first one, sati, is the same as sati we mentioned before, right? And the second one is what? Investigation of Dhammas. That means understanding, panya. So it is not just investigation, but correct understanding the true nature of things. So it is important to understand that it is panya, because it is not just investigating. It is actually the understanding the nature of things observed. So the second one also you already know. And what is the third? Effort. You know about effort. And then piti, rapture or zest or pleasurable interest. So this piti is very close to sukha, happiness. And piti does not belong to the group of feeling, although it looks like feeling, but piti belongs to the group of sankhara. So piti is a separate, a different mental factor than the feeling, vedana. So vedana and piti are different. So piti is something like a precursor to sukha, but actually piti and sukha arise at the same time. Now piti is compared to one's hearing that suppose a man is going on a journey in the desert, and so he had no water, and he was hungry, he was thirsty, he was tired, and then he met a man, and that man told him that there is a lake, say about a mile from that place. So when he hears that there is a lake, and also when he goes towards the lake and he sees the lake from a distance, what he experienced is piti. He has not yet experienced, enjoyed the benefits of the lake, the water and the trees and all those. But he has the interest in that, pleasurable interest in that. So that is piti. And when he reaches the lake and say take bath in the lake and drink water and say rested under the shade of a tree, then that is sukha, happiness. So piti and sukha are different. It's very difficult to distinguish between the two because they are very similar and they arise simultaneously with consciousness. So that is piti. Now, there are 5 kinds of piti. I will not tell you these 5 kinds here today. Now, piti is also experienced by meditators. Different kinds of pitis. When you practice meditation and you say you feel good, then sometimes you feel the horripilation. You feel hair standing on end. Sometimes you are like sitting at a beach and then waves say breaking on you. You feel like that. But sometimes you feel like moving. I mean, even you feel like levitating, although you are not really levitating like that. So these are actually not feelings. So these experiences are what is called piti in our books. So this piti, almost every meditator experiences at one time or another during their practice of meditation. And this piti is very, say, enjoyable, and it is conducive to the next one. What is the next one? Tranquility. Yeah. The next one is tranquility. So you practice meditation and you experience piti, and also you experience tranquility, both of mind and body. Sometimes you feel very comfortable. So you don't have any pain in any part of your body, and you think that in that condition you could go on sitting for hours and hours on end, and that is a kind of tranquility that you experience during meditation. And your mind is also very peaceful. There is no agitation in the mind, and it's very comfortable, very peaceful. And that is tranquility of mind. This tranquility of mind and also tranquility of body, many meditators experience during their practice of meditation. Okay, the next one is concentration, which you all know. So the last one is what? Equanimity. Now, this equanimity is not neutral feeling. So whenever you find the word equanimity, you have to be careful. Sometimes it means neutral feeling, and sometimes it means a state of not falling to either side, the state of being in the middle, and that is called tatra majjatada in Pali, and which is translated as equanimity. So when there is this equanimity, you don't have to make a real effort, say, to practice, for your mind to be on the object, or to be mindful. So when there is equanimity, your mind hits the object just by itself, without you are making much effort. So that is what is called equanimity here. So when you reach that stage of equanimity, you don't have to make effort to be mindful of the object. It's always, your mind is always on the object, hitting the object squarely. So it is like the automatic pilot taking over on airplanes. On jet planes there is what is called automatic pilot, right? Mm-hmm. So say after flying for some time, the human pilot will turn the automatic pilot on. So when it is on, he doesn't have to worry about flying the aircraft. So the automatic pilot takes care of itself, and he just has to look on, the human pilot. So in the same way, when there is equanimity, then you don't have to worry about being mindful. Mindfulness is just there, say, doing its own function. So that is equanimity, and that kind of equanimity is present in varying degrees in the practice of meditation, And in the higher stages of vipassana meditation, it becomes predominant or pronounced. And so when you reach such a stage, then your meditation is just good. You don't have to make much effort. It goes by itself. And you can enjoy it for hours. So these are the 7 factors of enlightenment. What is the next group? Magganga, factors of path. Should I need to tell you about these 8 factors? No. But please let me hear you say them in proper sequence.
Right.
Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Right. So these are the 8 factors of path. These factors also arise at the moment of vipassana meditation as well as at the moment of enlightenment. So they are both mundane and supramundane. So altogether we get 37 factors of enlightenment. Now I want you to do some classwork. Now there are said to be 37 factors of enlightenment. And you may have noticed that all these factors of members of enlightenment are cetasikas, right? So are there 37 cetasikas? Or how many cetasikas are there?
There is some overlaps.
No, find that out. So for Satipatthana, there is only one cetasika, right? So please write on a sheet of paper. Say mindfulness. Yeah. And for the second group, although there are 4 supreme efforts, there is only one cetasika, right? Effort. And then for means of accomplishment, how many? Will. Huh? Please write down will. And then effort, you don't need to write down. Have you written effort already?
Right.
Oh. And then consciousness. And understanding. Then let's see whether there are new in faculties. Confidence. Yes. Effort. No. Mindfulness. Concentration. Yes. Understanding. Already. Then Bala, the same. Then Bodhanga, factors of enlightenment. Mindfulness. Yes. Investigation of Dhammas.
Yes.
Yes. Then effort.
Yes.
Yes. Piti.
No.
Not yet. Tranquility. Not yet.
No.
And then
Equanimity.
concentration.
Yes.
Equanimity.
No.
Now factors of path. Right understanding.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right thought. Not yet. Consciousness is different. Yeah? So right thought. Right speech. Not
No.
yet. Right action.
No.
Not yet. Right livelihood.
No.
Right effort.
Yes.
Yes. Right mindfulness.
Yes.
Yes. Right concentration.
Yes.
Then how many are there?
14.
14. 13 cetasikas and 1
Check.
Cheta, consciousness, right? So consciousness and 13 cetasikas. So although we say there are 37 members of enlightenment, actually in reality there are only these 14 factors. 1 Cheta and 13 cetasikas or mental factors. And these cetas and cetasikas, doing their functions properly during the moment of vipassana meditation through the different stages, and also they arise together at the moment of enlightenment. And so they are called Bodhi-pakkhiya Dhammas, those that are on the side of enlightenment. And in English, the members of enlightenment or factors of enlightenment or whatever you want to call it. So today we come to the end of a series of classes for well-informed Buddhists. And if you have gone through this class and if you remember all these, then you can claim yourself to be a well-informed Buddhist. As I said last night, if you do not remember, you have to study it again. So I'm very glad that we can accomplish this class, and I'm satisfied with myself because I am able to make you to be well-informed Buddhists. And I hope you are also happy that you have become well-informed Buddhists now. Now, it is not easy to become a well-informed Buddhist. Don't think that it is easy. Now, in our countries, there are majority of people are Buddhists. So let's say they are Theravada Buddhists. So they are born Theravada Buddhists. But since they are born Theravada Buddhists, they take Buddhism for granted. They don't take it really seriously. And they think they know enough about the Theravada Buddhism. But actually, what they know is just how to pay respect to the monk, to the Buddha, so how to say, and how to take precepts, and how to offer, say, food to the monks or to the Buddha, and just that, not the basic teachings of the Buddha. If you have friends, Burmese friends or Thai friends, you can ask them about the Four Noble Truths or Eightfold Path or dependent origination. They may have heard the names, but they may not be able to explain to you. So I think you can take pride in yourself, although pride itself is not a good one. And that you have become well-informed Buddhists and the true followers of the Buddha. I understand that you have come into contact with Theravada Buddhism just recently, maybe 2-3 years, but you have achieved much more than the achievement of for a lifetime of the traditional Buddhists.